Josh, thanks for your time, mate. Welcome back from England. And now the last 12 months there's been a lot of talk about, obviously, the MOU negotiation going on. Now, from the playing point of view, you've been extremely busy, had a reasonably successful tour in India, where the boys played above expectations. How's the player unity amongst the group?
Yeah, the unity is very strong. It always is. I mean, cricket has taken obviously our minds off a little bit. The last 6 to 8 months we've been really busy playing, and probably only the last few weeks we've sort of got back and followed it pretty closely of how things are going, and whether it's in the media or in correspondence with ACA. So we obviously play as a team on and off the field, and we stick together no matter what.
There's no doubt this group wants to leave a legacy behind. It's a new, fresh group. Is that really important, and have you spoken about that with the group?
The test team is probably a bit younger and more inexperienced, so I think it's just providing them with the information of what we want to put forward and how we want to be remembered, I guess, in 5, 10, 15 years. I remember we met together in Melbourne when the team was, just that new team had just sort of come together, and we had Alistair talk to us, and Tim May was in there, and the youngsters sort of really got a lot from that meeting, I think, and got an understanding of what it's all about. But obviously on tour, the senior guys try and keep their that interaction up and about what the ACA is all about.
Josh, can you explain to us why the players feel it's really important that both domestic players and female players are part of this MOU?
The guys in the Australian cricket team, we all went through that pathway of state cricket. We obviously see that as a hugely important step, and hugely important to keep that as strong as we can moving forward. A lot of people around the world think it's the strongest domestic competition in the world. So as long as we can keep that moving forward and to keep all our players under the one banner, female included, keeps us very strong and united. So we think that's very important.
Given not only the rise of the Big Bash but also the WBBL as well, do you think that the players have felt disrespected at that level, given where the game could be going in the next 5, 10, 15 years with those competitions in particular?
They always seem to point out the no crowds and things at Sheffield Shield cricket, but they always leave out the Big Bash that draws in massive crowds every game, and the Australian cricket team aren't really a part of that, to be honest. That's solely domestic players, with obviously a couple of internationals in different teams, but they provide a great spectacle, and that 6 weeks is just thriving with crowds and attendance and all that sort of thing. So yeah, I think they would feel disrespected, definitely.
And in this process, how willing are the players to negotiate?
Yeah, there's obviously little things that we can negotiate here and there. Obviously, we're not going to get everything that we want, and CA aren't going to get everything they want. But we're willing to obviously budge a little bit here and there in different areas, and yeah, willing to negotiate.
And you were one of the top players that were offered individual contracts by Cricket Australia recently. Can you tell us a little bit about that process and how it all panned out, and was it a bit of a shock to you?
Yeah, it was a bit of a shock, just the way it came about. I think they said they weren't going to offer contracts until the MOU had been finalised and everything was done and dusted, and we obviously got the offers before that's happened, and that we always said that to go through the ACA as our representative. So that's a bit disappointing, the way they came straight to the players and tried to go around the ACA. So we didn't give it too much thought, to be honest. We're obviously, as a collective, we're sticking strong together, and any offer before then is just null and void, really.
Josh, we've seen the likes of Steve Smith and David Warner and Meg Lanning and a number of players around state cricket as well commenting on this MOU negotiation process. How do you see your role in this as well?
Yeah, I guess as a senior player, it's about backing those guys up and those comments up. I guess it's about showing the younger guys in not only the Australian team but the domestic scene as well, showing them that we're all sticking together, and I guess the younger guys look up to that and see that as a bit of a positive, and showing the way forward and leading the player group. How
willing have the players been to be flexible in these negotiations?
I mean, the players are very flexible. We're willing to do what we need to do to get a result done, to get everyone under collective banner, and women, domestic players, and obviously national players, just to get a result. We're very flexible.
On July 1, Josh, 230 cricketers will be unemployed. Can you run us through the feelings of what that's like?
Yeah, it's going to be a different feel, I guess. Being contracted for probably the best part of 10 years, nearly, for me. Yeah, it's going to be a different stage, and we'll see how it pans out.
And will that leave a bit of a sour taste in the mouth that it's had to go down this track?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's never got to this point before in the past, so it's going to leave a bit of a bitter taste, as you said, come that date. But we're obviously willing to do what we need to.
And you think that damage to the game can be repairable down the track?
I'd like to think so. It obviously depends how long we do end up going for, but I hope it can be repaired in the future.
Josh, in the last MOU, the players have put back $10 million from the player payment pool into grassroots cricket. Why is investing in that side of the game so important from the players' point of view?
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously where everyone starts. A strong state program is very important, and I think obviously grassroots is probably more important. It's the beginning of cricket for pretty much everyone who's playing the game these days. So the more money we can put back into that, obviously the stronger the future is going to be. It's where the next teams are coming from, the next Steve Smiths, the next guys like that. So yeah, the more we can help out grassroots cricket, the better.